I found that we can do more than we think we can do, and we can handle more than we think we can handle. In my sophomore year of high school, I was playing football, and at the end of the season, we ended up getting a new coach, and we were so excited. This guy was going to be the next Bear Bryant or the Georgia coach. This guy was really going to be a superstar. And so we had all these folks go out for the football team that year. We had 102 players go out. And so everybody was so excited. And the guy's name was Buddy Wendell. And Buddy we quickly found out that Buddy wasn't our buddy at all. He just about killed us. And, quite honestly, I wasn't that good a player. I was what you call a 20-20 player. Anybody know what a 20-20 player is? Well, a 20-20 player gets to play when there's 20 seconds left in the game and we're 20 points up. That's when they called on me to play. But, when I went out to play and not to quit. And if you won't quit and you'll keep going when life is tough, you'll realize that you can get through more than you think you can get through, and you can actually grow from those difficult times. And so we went out spring training, and we quickly learned that, man, it was going to be tough. We were in full pads, and we practiced for 3 hours. And we only got to drink a little Dixie cup. It was a small cup, if you don't know what a Dixie cup is, just a little small cup of water for every 3 hours. And so we also had to run 40-yard sprints at the end of those 3 hours with us only drinking a little Dixie cup full of water. Now, we had one big problem. We had a guy named Jamie Welch that ran with us. I was a wide receiver, and we all ran as a group of receivers. So there was 5 of us, and Jamie Welch, unfortunately, had asthma. And about the 10th sprint, Jamie would start to slow down, and he wouldn't run through all the 40 yards. He'd just run about 35 and start to taper off because he couldn't breathe. And so Jamie was over there it was like, he just could not get his breath at all. And he was struggling. And so our coach would just say, hey, boys, that one didn't count. And I said, well, look, Jamie's got asthma. He's like, I don't care. He's on your team. You got to deal with it. And so he's like, he's got to finish the 30 more sprints that you guys have to do. He's got to finish. He's on your team. You figure it out. So what we ended up doing was I got under one pad, another guy got on the other, underneath the other pad, and we would literally carry Jamie 40 yards down the field as fast as we could, and the other guys would do the exact same thing. So it was so tough, and no water. Like I said, I had a little Dixie cup for 3 straight hours. Now, I know this would be totally illegal today, but back then, nobody said a thing other than, hey, he's the coach, he's the boss, you do what he says. And so at the end of the summer, for our first game, at 102 players that started, we had, anybody want to take a guess how many we had? We had 22 players left that did not quit. And so I was one of them. I survived, and it was really tough, extremely difficult. And I didn't really know that. I really felt like, you know what, he had done us wrong. The coach had done us wrong. And when I think about things when we do wrong, I felt like that we had been done wrong totally. And everybody, the other 80 players that quit, felt the exact same thing, that we had been done wrong. And I found that when you are done wrong, you can grow through it. If you change a few little letters around you'll see that you can grow when life treats you wrong. And so if we fast forward about 4 years later, I was working for a carpet mill, and I, through some miscommunications and wrong choices of my own, I ended up getting a 28,000-pound carpet machine pushed up on my left foot. Now, I don't know how, but I was able to pull my foot out from under the machine, and when I did, it degloved it. In other words, it took about a third of it off the skin and the meat off my foot. And so it was really tragic. I was in a lot of pain, and it was really unbearable. But I remember thinking two things. One is that, my faith would get me through this. And the second thing I thought of was, you know what? I had been through Buddy Wendell's practices. And at the time, I didn't know what that did for me. But in reality, over that time, I'd grown. I really didn't know I'd grown, but I had. And because of getting through Buddy Wendell's practices, I knew I could get through this. It was going to be hard. It was going to be difficult. And you can too. You can leverage what you've gone through to help you go through the next challenge in your life. And you'll find out that you're stronger than you think you are, and you can handle more than you think you can handle.